and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca and it is time to do another section on my Heaven and Earth design today. So I'm working on Mini Beautiful Light. I'm around here, somewhere around here for this section, just the top of her head, but this has 15 colours and finished size is 46 by 82 centimetres. So I'm kind of organised today, kind of not. I keep hitting the wrong one. I want that one. Grab my diamonds. I did complete another section after last week. I'm trying to make sure that I complete another one. But this week we are on here. I'll let you know, our Katherine's home from uni. She's on reading week. And we've set ourselves a plan for this week. So I'll talk about that in a moment. First up, let's go to Hiya. Oh my goodness me. Okay, today might be a quick one. Let's see how this goes. This whole section is black. Okay, so I suppose there's no huge need to see the screen, so maybe let's zoom in a little bit more today. I've decided to use the purple glitter tray, which is the tray launch for tomorrow, along with so tomorrow as in Friday, if you remember, you'll be watching this early, but it is also our mega sale. We've had a couple of advent bits show up already that are starting to take over the shelves and give me jobs to do. And yeah, we're having a mega sale because we need to clear stuff out that is not coming back. So it's only things that are not coming back, all regular stock items, and the limited edition trays and things are normal. But we have a load of bargains, like I have just gone super silly with the sale, hence the name. Whether it's because the weather's getting nicer, there's a bit of a spring declutter in the air, who knows. But yeah, I reckon today's WIP and Waffle might be a quick one. So let me give you the update of what me and Katherine are doing this week, and then I will go to comments and we'll get through as many comments as we can. But if not, the Sunday WIP and Waffle will just be a little bit longer, will it not? But that's fine. So yeah, Katherine is off this week for reading week. So she is home from uni and she needs to get some work done, which is always sort of hard motivation, motivation-wise. I also I'm trying working a different way, which also fits in with Katherine's working day, but is actually allowing me to focus on multiple different things in a day. So I found that quite often I would stick to sort of one thing throughout a day. So I'd do my admin, replying to emails, getting orders ready was a daily thing. But then I'd say, oh, okay, it's a YouTube day today, and I'd film all day or most of the day, having sort of little breaks in between from chatting loads. But I would end up having probably 2 or 3 filming days, primarily filming days throughout the week, and then have a day or 2 to focus on other things. But it wasn't getting some of the things done that I need to get done. Not all of them, some of the things that sort of get put off a little bit, I suppose. So yeah, we've decided to trial this week, going sort of by time. So each day of the week before 11, I need to have done all the admin all admin jobs and any potential house jobs that need doing. So admin and house is all done by 11. Katherine then makes sure that she is sort of up and starting to prepare uni work. So she might be reading, she might be grabbing some sources together ready to read. She might be doing any sort of admin bits between 11 and 12. And between 11 and 12 is when I go and pack orders and potentially do a couple of bits in the shop of things that need stocking up. And then between the hours of 12 and 1:30, I do YouTube. Now, I don't necessarily need to do that every day of the week, but I start on a Monday, and then, yeah, just keep going until every video I can possibly do, even if it's in advance, is done. This also then helps for the likes of next week when we have launch and the big sale. Of course, I won't be doing YouTube on Monday, but because I've been doing it all this week, I will be ahead, and I will just have my WIP and waffles to do. So that's always good. So yeah, I do that, and then if I don't have time to finish, say, completing a full video, I will then start the sort of editing process. If it's not finished, I will finish it during admin the next day. For the videos that need to go up in that week, is what I'll do. Any that I'm filming well in advance, I'll get them edited and uploaded to YouTube, but then all the YouTube parts, which actually take probably the bit longer, will get done each week when they need to get done. Plus Friday is my extra admin day. So that's when I am planning on preparing all YouTube videos that still need doing for the following week that I've already filmed, preparing social media for the following week. All that sort of stuff will get done in my Friday, 2.5 hours. Then I go and pack any additional orders, finish up anything in the shop area that I've been working on, and get the post ready for the postman up until 3. So 2:30 is sort of the new cut-off. If an order's in by 2:30, it will more than likely go out same day, apart from launch days, and around launch days. Yeah, that's when that cut-off will be. And then from 3 o'clock until 4:30, when people start coming home, I then work on Advent. So I've got a lot of planning to do, a lot of designing to do, and things like that for Advent this year. And then it will go into, it'll evolve then into the likes of Advent preparation, and preparing items for Advent as time goes on. So it's sort of Advent and new items things. So some of it is Advent related, some of it is just new items that we want to bring in. It's sort of my designing time. We've done, as I'm filming this, we've done 1 day so far. We're on day 2. I'm filming this on Tuesday and it's going really well. I've actually got a whole lot more designing done yesterday than I thought. I think because it's like an hour and a half and it's set, sit down and do, it's worked really well. I did wonder whether to push filming this video until tomorrow and spend the time editing and stuff. But the video I filmed before this doesn't need to be up for a couple of weeks. It was actually me getting my next paint gem set ready. And it's not scheduled for a week or 2, so there's no rush on it. So I thought, let's see if I can get my WIP and Waffle completed even if it runs over just a little bit. And then of course I open up Pattern Keeper and it's all black. So I reckon I will finish with time to spare and be able to start editing these videos. At least get them uploaded to YouTube, and then I can get them get this video made public in the morning. Or made for members, sorry, in the morning, and scheduled for Thursday. But yeah, it's working really well. We've also set the rule that between the hours of 12, 11 for me, 12 for Katherine, and 4:30, our phones stay in the kitchen. So you can still go and answer a call, you can still go and respond to a message or a notification, but your phone doesn't come out the kitchen, because you can't sit down in the kitchen. That's the key thing. So we're not stopping ourselves from going on our phones, but we're restricting, you tend to prioritise when you're stood up, and it's worked really, really well for both of us. So anyway, that's my little waffle on our current routine, and I'm actually finding that it's working well. Instead of me focusing on one thing for a day, so saying this is a YouTube day, or this is a design day, or this is a Advent prep day, I'm finding this is better because some tasks, as you may know, are nicer than others. So actually setting it by rough times, and we are sort of flexible with the times, but we try to stick to them as close as possible. I found I've been a lot more productive both yesterday and today because I've got to focus on how much time I have to get something done. And I think it just makes me get on and do it. It just gets it done, gets it sorted. And I'm kind of hoping that, of course, later on in the week, as YouTube is not required, I can then make a bit more progress on things maybe that excite me or that are bigger tasks. Maybe I'll do a bit more designing, maybe I'll just do a bit more Advent prep, or stock prep, depending on the levels. But it's flexible enough that come next week when it's launch, so launch and super silly sale, it's flexible enough that I can do lots of prep. I've got time to prep for that this week. I've also got time to make sure YouTube is done in advance for it next week. Tie those two things together, and it means that come next week, next Monday, I can spend all day packing orders and not worry that I'm not able to get this, I don't have time to do this, that or the other. And just when I go into the shop at 11, I will basically be there all day. I'll probably be there beforehand, to be honest, because I'm also trying to make sure that all house stuff is done in advance. And then come launch, I can spend 1, 2, even 3 days fully completing everything in the shop before falling back into my routine. So yeah, let me know if anybody else finds that sort of rough time frames works for them, or do you find that focusing on certain days works for you? Days worked for me for a while, but it didn't help me with the stuff that wasn't as exciting, because I always prioritised the more exciting. Whereas now, even if it's just an hour, half an hour, within that design time, I'll force myself to spend half an hour doing something that's not as exciting, mixed in with what I enjoy, sort of break it down a little bit more. And I'm finding that I'm actually enjoying it more than I thought, because it's just half an hour. It's just half an hour within that time to do an element of it that's not as much fun. And yeah, I'm starting to love it. So, love to hear your thoughts on all of that, of course. Okay, comments. Let's scroll down to comments because I'm very conscious that I am now halfway through this section and I haven't got to any comments. So Inga, she says, your question, she says, about what even is normal. She said, what is normal, or what is normal? Who knows what normal is? Normal's what works for you. Normal is when life just plods, I think. When life is just your normal. No dramas, no fuss, and you just get to enjoy the day-to-day is always good. But she says it reminded her of a saying or quote she's heard somewhere, which is normal is just a setting on the washing machine or dryer. So true. Normal is a setting on a machine. That works. Other than that, I think the more the saying is it's your normal, not necessarily anybody else's normal, because we are all different, which is what makes us all special. She says, edit, she says, about the pattern keeper bug, she says what works for her is selecting different colours and then selecting the original one and the all done untick squares will be done. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try that. Quite often I just close down Pattern Keeper and reopen it and it works. But it's nice to know there is a couple of other ways to sort of make it work or trick it into working. I actually emailed Pattern Keeper today. Actually remembered while I was doing Floral Surprise, of which the kitting up is coming. But while I was doing a floral surprise section last night, I actually emailed them to see if we could have the letters, the AB and the ND and stuff, actually show in Pattern Keeper when they're on the pattern. Because of course I was working on Floral Surprise, and while the DMC numbers are different for the frosty drills than they are for the normal, it would be really handy if it had it on. So for example, if these were 310 ABs, I'm pointing at the screen and you can't see it. If these were 310 ABs, it'd be really handy if the AB was shown. Even if the colour and everything else works the same. So I sent them an email and they actually sent me a link to a suggestion box where I could request it. So I'm kind of hoping that it's something that is really easy for them to do, is to allow the letters to show. Because they do show on markup. I think one I tested in markup does show, but I don't want to pay monthly for markup when I've paid for Pattern Keeper for life. So I'm kind of hoping that it's something they can implement that's easy their side, because that's always the thing, isn't it? If it's an update that is really easy for them to do, won't have any negative impact on cross stitches, then it would be absolutely awesome for us that use Pattern Keeper for diamond painting. So if anybody else fancies writing them, they do have a suggestion form on their website, which obviously I didn't look for enough originally. But if you would be happy to fill in their suggestion box. I did confirm that they're the same colours, the same colour codes, everything, just you would have 310, for example, show up as 310 or 310 AB. That would be really good for us diamond painters. Hint, hint. Cat Lady, she says, hi Rebecca. She says they had a really short shower of snow on Monday too. So when we were in Cumbria, last Monday, a week last Monday, there was a very, very fine, very, very pathetic actually, scattering of snow. It was pathetic as far as snow goes anyway. But yeah, sounds like Cat Lady had some too. She says, but nothing came of it. But it was chilly on the fingers all day. She says, we have since had gales again. Yes, I have noticed the weather has been, in general, a lot nicer recently. However, we then can also have what feels like all 4 seasons in one day. So I look outside 1 minute and it's looking very spring-like. You know, I'm thinking, ooh, is it close to being able to put washing on the line? You know, does it feel warm enough? Borderline it is. And then an hour later, it's absolutely throwing it down and freezing cold. So yeah, we are currently in the back end of winter that does not know what season it wants to be. I mean, I say all 4 seasons. I don't quite think it's hitting summer, but you know, it's definitely hitting warm. That's warmer, that's for sure. And it's definitely looking nice, just not all day. But hey, I'm holding out hope that the days in general are getting better. Grey Legrand, she says, the way you're describing pasties, she says, they sound very much like saltinas, she says, which she had in Bolivia. She says, but theirs were more of a football shape because the dough's a circle and you fold it up to meet in the middle and crimp it. Yes, some of ours, I actually saw your comment come through on email. Some of our pasties are like that too. So some of them are sort of folded over and some of them are sort of folded up and then crimped at the top. A lot can depend on sort of where you get them from and what that company sort of decides to do. But either way, they taste mighty fine. Okay, you not sticking? Okay. Sometimes I have to check if a diamond's not sticking because it's all concaved on the inside and therefore it's not got a flat bottom, or whether it's not sticking because my glue dot is too sticky. And it can often go either way. It could be one or the other, that's for sure. No, you are just not sticking. You're not concave though. Okay, why are you not sticking? I don't think the glue dot's that strong. Anyway, I'll dab it on my face. Busy Lizzie, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she is completely with me in relation to packing, to unpacking, sorry. She says she went to Tenerife on the 3rd of February until the 7th. She says 5 days in total. Today is the 20th, she says, and she has still got her luggage waiting to be unpacked. Oh, that's dear. A big upsy daisy. She says, and when she came home, she says she did remove clothes that were needed washing, she says, but she's left the others. That makes it a little bit better. At least your washing is in the right place. She says the case is just staring at her, waiting to be unpacked. Well, the thing is, if you went somewhere warmer as well, I definitely get it, because it's not like it's clothes you need. It's just a job to do. On Saturday, this Saturday just gone, we finally had what feels like the first weekend in ages at home. It's not been, you know, a huge amount of time, but it was 2 weekends on the trot that we were busy. So yeah, we had a weekend at home. and I was determined. I was determined that I really wanted to get some quilting done, but I was not doing it until the house was straight. And luckily Katherine came home. She was an absolute godsend on Saturday. She was full of energy, which is awesome. So she was helping out left, right and centre, which was really good. So yeah, on Saturday we nipped to the fabric shop first. I was short just a little bit of fabric for my sister-in-law's quilts. So then it opened on a Sunday. So we went and picked that up, and I picked up a backing for a baby quilt that I need to complete. And then we did the house. So Katherine was the biggest help. Girls did help, the other girls and my son did help as well, but they were sort of in and out, had various things on. Hubby also helped a bit with various bits. But yeah, we absolutely blitzed through the house. Katherine, for some weird reason, actually likes going into the loft. Don't know quite where that excitement comes from, but anyway, she was more than happy to put the suitcases away, and I was more than happy to let her. So yeah, we got completely blitzed through the house, and then on Sunday I got to finish up my sister-in-law's quilt top. It literally needed 2 strips of fabric. I got to finish that up. I even got to put together the baby quilt as well. They both need quilting, but that'll be another weekend's task. But yeah, both quilt tops got done. And yeah, got to have a busy Saturday getting things straight, a relaxing Sunday. And then of course me and Katherine have started our week of productivity. We'll see how many weeks it lasts, but for now it's lasting. So I'll take it. Gloria, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she used to use her packing cubes just to pack her way to whatever trip she was taking. She says, but dirty clothes were always a thing. She says until she started using the same packing cubes to store the dirty clothes and kept her unused clothes out at the top of the bag when coming back home. She says that way, she says all she had to do was throw her clothes in the washing machine, and of course she packed them, she said, sorted by colour, so they were ready for loads. She says she hopes this tip is useful. That definitely sounds like fun, because you're more than happy to sort out when you're packing up your dirty clothes to go home. You're sort of more than happy to sort them out into, you know, washer loads as such. It's a lot easier to do on holiday than it is necessarily to do when you get home. So I can see that being a very useful thing. Plus then they're not all over the place, are they? Like, you can put your packing cubes on the side near your washing machine, wherever that may be, even if it's in the kitchen like mine is. You can pop it on the kitchen side because it's not the dirty clothes straight, they're all in a packing cube. And then you know exactly how many loads you have to put on, and you can just get them done bit by bit. And yeah, get the case emptied. For me, it's often getting the case put away, but I say, luckily I had Katherine this weekend who was more than happy to put them away for me. Liv, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she loves hearing my shenanigans. Whatever that may be. It was a bit more exciting last week than it was this week, but me and Katherine are loving our little productivity schedule this week, so I still enjoyed the lakes. The lakes was a different kind of enjoyment, but we're making sure we're getting our enjoyment this week as well. She says the lakes are a lovely part of the country. She says she loves having some time away, she says, to completely relax. And yes, that's definitely what that weekend was. It was complete switch off, in good company, Do you know what I mean? The evenings were great. I mean, quite often the kids were up later and stuff as well. It wasn't the fact that the kids were in bed, because quite often they were up, but it was definitely really nice sort of fun catching up with everybody, and yeah, just having a great time. She also says she hates unpacking after a holiday as she's too exhausted. She says she leaves it too long to sort everything out, which I get, because I did. It took, well, until the next weekend for it actually to go back in the loft. But you know what? It's done now. At least I got to give the house a full reset last Saturday. All of us moving about here, there and everywhere, getting all those bits ticked off. The dog's crate that she travels in the car got put away, and yeah, just it's definitely made for a more productive week. Always better when things are done. But yeah, that is this section for today. It is definitely a quicker one with it all being black. Oh, there's definitely not all black on this next one, though there is still a chunk. But I will get that finished off, or I will get that section done at some point this week in preparation for next week's video. But yeah, we are definitely getting there. I reckon we'll have more excitement when we come down for next week's. But you know, you've got to take the supposedly more boring weeks with the not boring weeks. Does that make sense? Yeah, and it's another section done, and it was easy. I got to be able to just chat to you and get it done. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.